Happy NCAAs, the final one. Eh, it's about that time. Um, yeah, we're here. Three of the four tiles are in Eugene or Oregon adjacent, Eugene adjacent. So Clyde, how are you today, sir? Tonight.
Greetings from the graduate. We are here. We are ready to go. Meet activities have gone well. I'm in the cathedral. I'm happy.
Governor, how are you?
Um, so far, my treatment of the cathedral, like it's Chernobyl, has helped quite a bit. The radioactive,
Paul,
allergy, all that stuff, hay fever. I have managed to stay indoors, and I will be limiting myself to my exposure until I have to be out there on Saturday.
I was gonna say I've only seen Jackie at the track. I've not seen you.
Yeah, yes, it's by design. It's one of those things. I've been over it, but I'm just trying to do the right thing. It's I will be there when I'm needed. I will be there when the heat is on because that the energy in that stadium is when it gets rocking. I mean, definitely want to be there.
Don't come and knocking. Just
And
kidding.
somehow Chuck and I always end up standing next to each other when shit's about to go down. So
this is true. That's very true.
isn't it crazy? You just somehow start to gravitate towards each other, and it's like, oh, here we go. So, but no, I'm ready. We're ready to go.
Nice. Dark Man X. Is
I
that
brought
man I
my
should be knowing that I don't know? I got called out on that like 3 times, by the way.
I brought my assistant, Grogu.
Oh, Jesus.
He's gonna help me with my picks.
Wait, that's not Baby Yoda?
That is Grogu.
Oh. Oh.
Baby Yoda has a name.
I thought it was Baby Yoda. My bad, my bad. Anyhow, sorry. Yeah, I'll stick to coaching at that. So I have to give you
Lordy.
guys one territory story because I've just been watching and stuff, right? So we're walking in today to the team camp area or into a warm-up area. And I don't know, I noticed for sure, but the normal LSU corner of the warm-up track is not occupied by purple. It's occupied by burgundy. And I was like, oh, wow,
Interesting.
oh, okay.
Oh,
And so
listen. Those kind of unique insider knowledge things are always very interesting here at this meet in particular. All of that drama is going to start jumping off tomorrow. Best believe.
So I laughed, right? Because I'm like, oh. And then I pay attention and I start to see a sea of purple walk towards it. And I'm like, oh, I'm stopping. I put down the case of water and I was like, I'm watching this. I'm watching this. So Shaver looks around, looking at the bag tags, walking towards the corner, and Pat turns the corner, and then the kids are kind of standing there. So the LSU kids start putting their bags down at the top of where that little annex straightaway
Yep.
is. And I'm like, oh, they're just gonna infiltrate. They're just gonna infiltrate. And I was like, all right, I seen enough. And I walked away. It was hilarious though. Hilarious.
Hey,
Yep.
it's one of the better things you can see in our business.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are schools and there are coaches that have legitimate
Territory.
I don't even want to say disdain for each other, but territories and like everybody knows this is how I move. So if you're in this, if you're where I'm supposed to be, then that was on purpose.
Oh, 100%.
Intentional for sure.
100%.
Intentional for sure.
Mm.
So I thought I'd share that story. Thought everybody would be amused by that one. So, anyways, back to the important stuff. So,
Yeah. Our
NCAA's predictions.
favorite time of the year where we all get to look like we have no idea what we're talking about, but we're gonna have fun anyway.
I mean, I haven't done these picks drunk, but I think there are people who think I have.
Okay. One of us usually delivers that level of points every time.
Absolutely.
It's not the same person, but there's a drunken picker every time.
So absolutely true.
Shooting shots.
So for the first time, audience, you're gonna get team podium predictions as well at the end of this, just so you know.
But we will all look really stupid.
Yeah,
But we're gonna try.
we're gonna try our best. And so
We're doing 1, 2, 3 podium.
Uh-huh.
Four.
Oh,
1, 2, 3,
God.
4
Four.
is the
No.
podium. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why?
No.
Because that's the podium.
They give out
I thought
4
they took away
trophies.
that trophy. I thought they took away the fourth place.
Nah,
trophy.
that's back in. That's been back in.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
They
So-
realized that was a dumb idea.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a minute, but you know, so Chewy is not forced to explain our slightly and ever evolving format. We're gonna open with the 4x1 predictions. We're gonna close with 4x4 predictions, and in between, each of us will be throwing our own event into the mix to be chosen 1, 2, 3. We're gonna screw it up,
Fantastic.
and it's gonna be awesome. So
Gonna be a train wreck, and you know that's why you're here.
So are we going ladies first or gentlemen first?
In the spirit of the meet, the men go first.
Yes.
and
Touche.
women go second.
There we go. In the spirit of the meet. So that brings us to the men's 4x1 podium.
Oh,
Here,
All
hold
right.
on.
boy.
All right, I'm ready.
I'll go first.
okay.
Men's 4x1.
Yes.
I have Auburn, USF, and Tennessee.
Ooh. I see what you did there.
You see what I did there?
I'm not mad at that. I'm
What
not
was your last
mad
pick?
at all.
What was third
Tennessee
place?
for third.
I'm
Yikes.
not mad at that. So Auburn makes things so difficult, don't they?
They do.
Golly. Yeah. So I live in mid-major world. I like the disruption. I'm here for the disruption. So I'm picking South Florida for the win.
Okay.
I am going, man, this is hard. I'm gonna go Auburn 2. And I'm going Minnesota 3.
Oh, okay.
If you watch the Big Ten meet,
Mm-hmm.
you know that Minnesota came into this building and lit up everybody, old and new members.
Hmm.
Minnesota's a problem. I got them top 3.
That's interesting. Not even gonna lie. That's actually pretty interesting. I don't know. You guys' picks are also very interesting to me, considering who is racing who. Because by picking 2 people in the same semi
Yeah.
to be on the podium, that means
But
you're
that's-
picking one of those. That means you're
that's
picking one of
inevitable.
those. Yes, but you're picking one of those teams to then make the podium from like lane 2.
No.
No.
If you get top 2 in your section, You're going to
Yeah.
be in a primary lane.
Right.
It'll be lane 87654.
Okay. I got it. I didn't say anybody was wrong. I just said it was interesting to me. I am going to pick South Florida for the W. As hard as it is for me to ever in life believe in the Trojans, I still am not going to. I'm going to pick Auburn for second, and I am going to pick the elite passers of the stick historically, LSU, for third.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Got a one last trick up his sleeve, huh? Dennis somehow gets it together. Okay.
All right. So
Because
I've
it's
got
not
USF
it's
Auburn.
not for lack of talent. I'll tell you that.
Indeed.
All right. I'm going with the USF for Auburn selections also. But in GA I trust, and Kentucky will pass that stick around to finish third.
So what are your three?
She has
USF
South Florida one and
Auburn,
two Kentucky.
and Kentucky.
All right.
I actually kind of like that pick.
Oh, listen, Kentucky's been very, very good at this all year.
Yep.
And I mean, and we
The
all know our
African is
guy
healthy.
DA.
If the African is healthy, they're a problem.
Yep. All right. Going through event number 1 of selection.
Ladies first.
We'll go in the order that we just picked.
Oh.
Governor.
Oh.
Say that again.
Time for you to pick your men's event. What shenanigans are you throwing at us?
Let me pull up the men's hammer real quick.
Oh, that's some cruel shit that you would do.
I'm going with men's javelin.
Men's
I
javelin.
try to defend you.
Yep.
Defend you.
I don't know why you did that.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Men's javelin.
Yep.
What's wrong with you?
Oh yeah, this is entertaining.
This
Governor,
is entertaining. Absolutely.
Governor. Now, I'm not going to ask this of our decathlete involved folks, because by definition they have to. How many javelin competitions have you watched this year? I'm guessing the answer is 0.
Man, considering pretty much all the track meets I've been to, there's been no jav competition on the oval. 0.
Yeah. Oh, record audience, he's just being an ass by doing this. He's just trying to embarrass the panel. It's all right. Go ahead. It's your event, so you got to pick first.
Okay. I mean, I think I'm almost going to go chalk on this.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm going with no, I'm going Mississippi State. Rougeté.
For the
Remy
win?
Rougeté. I'm going Strawn for second. And I'm going Al Sharif for third.
Okay. I'm going to go Miami for the win. DeVoe.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to bet on my girl April at Mississippi State with Remy Roger for 2.
Yeah.
And since I have no idea what I'm talking about otherwise, I will simply say, oh, no, you know what? I'm going to roll with my guy at UGA for third. Mustafa for third.
I'm going to be honest with you too. Not seeing the javelin this year is probably helpful because I have, and it's making it worse.
Mm.
I think Mustafa Al Sharif is the best guy.
Okay.
It's a cluster after that. All right, so I'm gonna pick April with Remy Rougeté. And then I don't really know why. This is kind of a gut feel, just because the first time I saw this young man, I thought he was like a black version of the Hulk. I'm gonna go with Likel Cabrera-Gay from Florida for third.
All right.
Because when you see him, you will feel like it's not fair that he's allowed to throw sharp objects.
Boy, the connotations.
I mean, you know what it's like when you see somebody, a
Yes.
big person amongst
Yes.
other big people, and you're like, he just stands out.
Yeah.
He would be
So,
the first pick in every game.
so my first night here, shout out to Bao Bao House. If you guys are in Eugene, go to Bao Bao House. It's phenomenal. But in there is the Florida Throws group. So, but just for the four that are here, and then walks in the Auburn Throws group, and they're all together. And I'm like, man, this Chinese restaurant is really like confused right now.
Mhm.
The biggest people that could be in Eugene are sitting in their restaurant. But anyways, it was quite entertaining to see all of them, and they were sitting side by side tables. So very interesting. Anyways, with that said, I've got Keyshawn winning, Al Sharif taking second, and Remy third.
Man, that's you got some confidence.
Right.
Like you've
I do
been,
have
like you've
confidence.
been in the zone.
Remember, we've got Preston in there, so I've been paying attention to the jab.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's right, but I was at NACAC with Keyshawn. Al Sharif I've seen watching, and then I don't know.
Set us
I
up.
saw April. No. I saw April trip up the stairs today, so I'm trickling that down to her athlete. Anyhow.
See, you set the table for Chewy. You went around.
All right. Clyde, you are next in your picking, sir.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. So, oh Jesus. All right. So I don't want that. I want that. Okay, here we go. Well. For so many reasons, and it just always is. The sprint hurdles are incredibly interesting this year, even in the context of some major players who aren't running. So, men's 110 hurdles. Yeah, could be a very consequential event for the podium issue. And apparently I have to go first. So
Yep.
I don't know, man. Like, the West is so good. God, this is tough, man. At this point, I think the most talented human being in the field is Jacoby Tharp. And he hasn't been awesome outdoors, but he seemed to be getting it together when he needed to. And if he's at his best, I just think he has too many skills to lose the race. But there's like 7 people who could win it.
This is this is crazy. Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, if you're in the final, whoever's on the line in the final is capable of winning this race. So I'm gonna go with Jacoby Tharp for the win. Oh God. This is a mess. Oh, it's so hard. You know
What's
what?
crazy is looking at this list and seeing how many people are in the portal.
Jacoby,
Just wild.
Jacoby Tharp for the win. God, it's at some point, Jamar Marshall's going to run a clean race in the final. And that's potentially going to be an issue. But, I mean, Smallwood has been the most consistent. So I got to put him in there for 2. And then, man. I'm going Homer for 3rd. I'm going Damaris Waters for 3rd.
I was wondering if you're going to do it.
Well, that sucks because I definitely don't want to pick the same people as you. So I'm going to pick Jacoby Tharp, Kendrick Smallwood, and is it Jaqueline Scott or Jaqueline Scott?
Qual.
Jaqueline. Quaylen.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? Is Quaylen?
Qual. Qualon.
I know, but it's Quaylen. That's why I asked the question. Okay, it's Jaqueline Scott. We're gonna go with Mr. Jaqueline Scott.
JQ.
I was gonna say he goes by JQ, but yeah.
JQ Scott for the bronze.
All right. I have Kendrick winning.
Ooh.
Jacoby in 2nd, and JQ in 3rd.
I have Tharp, Smallwood, and Marshall Jr.
We're gonna give it to him.
Yes.
Listen, if Jamar Marshall runs 10 hurdles clean, he will screw around and win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the crazy part about, because the hurdles are always nuts. But if I'm being completely honest, right, usually what you have is really good collegiate hurdlers and like 1 or 2 guys that you think are going to be pros. If we're honest,
no,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 professional hurdlers in this meet.
And there's one missing. I know that there's one missing.
Yeah.
At least one missing.
There's at least
2.
one.
I know there's 2.
one. There's one I was gonna pick to be in the mix missing. So anyway, this is outrageous.
There's 2 who are not in this list, and you're like, you could already have the final predetermined to an extent.
Well, you're up next, Dark Man.
You know what? I'm not even gonna be like coy about this. I'm just gonna make it hurt and pick the decathlon.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not even, usually I like kind of play around with it. I was gonna pick the men's hammer, but I was like, nope, we're just gonna pick the deck.
All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It ain't, it's not even fun for me.
Look.
So let us suffer.
All of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is, all the superheroes are gone. So now we have to pick amongst the normalized. Okay. We had this debate at practice today, so I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to pick Teal Steinforth for 1st. I'm going to pick Peyton Bear for 2nd. When I tell you 3rd place could be any one of so many people, you know what? I'm going off the beaten path with my man Brad Thomas from UCSB.
Wow.
I know his numbers don't make him off the beaten path, but I don't think he's faced like 90% of the people in this meet. So that's what I said.
He said off the beaten path and picked chalk.
That's what I just said. I know his numbers make him third, but this dude hasn't seen like 90% of the people in this field.
Yeah, I hear you. Chewy.
Well, my first two are the same. I've got Till winning and Peyton taking second. My third choice, man.
Who is going to have an out-of-body experience?
Bro, it could be so many people.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to go Big 12 and say it's going to be Ben Barton because he's getting better and better every time that we've seen him. So
See, that's
he's
so
up
funny.
there.
You said Big 12. I thought for sure you were going to say somebody else.
Oh, no. Who do you think I was going to say?
Grant?
No. Unfortunately, I've had a conversation with him today or this week already.
Oh, geez.
Not bad.
okay.
He's fine. He's fine. I just could tell.
I got you.
All right. Governor.
Picking the same two, and I'm picking Grant for third.
I hope it is. I really do.
I mean, I was going to say, I think as fans of people, we all want him to be in the top three.
Yes.
For real. God, I want him to have that.
All right. Well, since I have no idea what any of this is about, I'm gonna go Nebraska. I'm gonna go Nebraska 1. I'm gonna go Santa Barbara West Coast small school for 2.
Wow.
And Mississippi State for 3rd.
That would be quite interesting.
All right, so it's my turn. Yikes, I just clicked on the wrong thing. I want to play in the 800.
Well, that's trying to piss me off today.
We bringing it.
800 meters. Jeez.
Yes.
Men's 800?
Men's 800.
Men's 800. She went there.
Ooh-wee.
So I like Hassan to win. Oh shoot. Sorry, hold on a second. I deleted the name. What did I delete?
For the record, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to this year. This field is ridiculously loaded.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I have been paying attention to this, but I didn't realize the Avengers had assembled at such a level.
No, it's stupid.
And it's the 8, so it's like random crap.
Yeah.
There's 6 145 guys in the first heat.
Right. Random crap is good, and one of your picks ain't even gonna make the final.
Yes.
Especially how heady the 800 is.
So I have Hassan winning. I have Whitmarsh in second. And I'm going to go with our frog, Free Lot, to take third.
I'm actually sort of mad at you, Chu.
Why is that?
Because all my moms, those were my 3. So now I have to decide if I want to ride that pony or not.
Look, you guys, when we first started, y'all, if we picked similar, you got scared. And we've evolved now. I've made some picks. They didn't make sense until after the meet.
Whose turn? Is it my turn?
It is
No,
governor,
it's
and you're
governor's
last.
turn.
Okay.
You just
Perfect.
picked. You're last.
Perfect.
I think I go Whitmarsh for the win. Hassan second. I think they're a cut above.
Yes.
And then I will go with Marshall from Arkansas for third. No. I'll go Christian Jackson for third.
I was like,
Virginia
you said a cut above, and you didn't pick the fastest guy.
I know.
The governor, as he does, has stolen my picks. I'm going Whitmarsh for first. It's the same three guys in the same three order. I'm giving Whitmarsh first because of those three guys, he's running for something bigger than himself as his team is in the
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, those three in that order. Those were my three.
Oh. Last but not least.
Whitmarsh Hassan. I really do believe in Lloyd. I'm not even gonna lie. Little crazy bastard.
Locked in.
Right. You know what? I'm going to. So we're
They
going
should just name this
Whitmarsh Hassan Freelo.
free lot.
Free lot.
Yes. They should just name this race the Martin 800-meter race. Literally.
Oh yes.
It is sponsored by Martin. Anyhow.
To the 4x4.
4x4.
It's a crazy race this year.
Yes, it is. 4x4 men?
4x4
Yes.
men.
It is crazier that there's a team at the meet with a season best of 306, just for the record.
Well, as I was saying on our last episode,
everybody was cooked at the end.
Oh, they were cooked. Yes.
And as I pointed out on the last show, I don't care what the predictions are. Princeton is sitting in this meet in a primary lane with a 3:02.62. That is wild, and I am rooting for Princeton.
We'll see if you pick them as much as you talk about.
I'm not gonna pick them, not for 3, but I'm rooting for them to get in the final. That's for sure. I'm predicting they get in the final.
Clyde, you're up.
Why up?
Because Governor just picked.
Yeah.
Wait, right?
No.
Oh, I did. Wait. Yeah, Governor, you're first.
Pick the last event. We're back to the governor.
Yeah, my apologies. I skipped a whole entire round there.
All right, so team implications. Down to the nitty-gritty. Who's been here before? Who has underperformed and is due for a huge showing? I have to go with the folks that have been here before, so I'm going Florida for the win. I'm gonna go with Arkansas second. And I'll go Arizona State third. Because they're probably going to be the most rested.
Yikes.
Well, ironically, and full transparency, I don't know the makeup of whatever, but ironically, you may never see this ever again. The Gators might be the most rested.
The Gators are going to probably be the most rested.
And in the spirit of Denzel Washington, and I'm leaving here with something.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Listen.
Yes.
Florida, on paper, Florida's men don't have a team title shot this year.
Right.
But they would love nothing more than to spoil the hopes and dreams of others around.
So they're going to try and be the Baylor of NCAA past, where
Well, yeah.
it didn't matter what
Well,
their
listen,
quarterfinals were.
at the end of the day,
We leave in here with something.
right. At the end of the day, they have owned this event for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to pick Florida for the win. But it's worse because on paper, this event actually happens, Texas A&M may be running for the championship.
Mm-hmm.
South Florida
Yeah.
may be running for the championship, right?
Yep.
And it would be hilarious if Florida with the 10 is the dream crusher
The
for
difference
somebody.
maker. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm picking Florida, South Florida, A&M in that order
Ooh.
with all the implications.
Yeah.
So I have a similar take, but in a different way. I do think the Gators are going to win. I think we all kind of feel the same way for the same reason. I have this weird feeling that this meet is going to be over before this happens because Minnesota can throw the hammer. So I can see some disheartened and disgruntled people show up to the line. And at that point in time, it kind of goes back to who has always done this best. And so I am going to pick Florida for the win in a you had to be there to know what I'm talking about in a race for get back over Texas A&M. And I think I'm going to pick Arkansas for third.
Okay.
Wait, so who was second?
A&M.
A&M.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry. All right. So I got Florida, A&M, Baylor.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a sleeper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Listen, you can argue for certain that Baylor has the best anchor on the track.
Yes.
I mean, Nathaniel, and he was warming up with us today. I was like, man, I can watch this all day.
Yeah, that's another interesting conversation.
Yeah. All right. Podium. Jesus Christ.
Men's podium. I have to go first.
Yep, you get to go
Yeah.
first.
Son of a bitch. Okay. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I will. So there's a, there's some projections out there in the world and all of that. Man, this is hard. I'll do this. I don't think, and the reason I think this is going to be so difficult is because I would be surprised if anybody eclipses 45 points.
Mm.
I'm almost surprised if anybody hits 40 because it's such a weird meet, right? There's definitely paths for people to do it. Like if USC comes in here and is the best version of the talent, they could actually, open up this meet in a way where people couldn't do much about it.
Right.
But if we're picking the podium, which is 4, oh God, Minnesota is such a problem in such weird events off the field. I mean, off the track, you're not going to see it happen, but it could happen to you. I'm going to go South Florida for the win.
Wow.
I think the last year, I think they learned them. I think they're ready. And their path is not clean, but it's very direct, meaning if you show up and you run how you're capable and supposed to run, it's a straight line to your total. I'm going South Florida for the win. Minnesota for second, A&M for third, and USC for fourth.
Oddly enough, I have those same 4 teams, just not in that order. Minnesota for the win. A&M for second. South Florida for third. And USC for fourth. I think this is the year that the cold weather team actually gets it done.
But listen, I know a lot of people didn't just choose to sit around and watch the Big Ten championships. I did.
They're a whole problem, man.
Minnesota is a problem. And again, they came in here and, beat down a lot of people already. So, like, they're confident, if nothing else, man. Minnesota's a whole problem.
All right. So staying in the same realm, different order, kind of. Minnesota, A&M, SC, USF.
I have a really hard time keeping Auburn off the podium. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I understand.
I get it.
Really hard time. I've got Arkansas for the win.
Arkansas for the win.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I have USF for second. I have Auburn third. And I have USC fourth.
You don't believe in
no belief in the Gophers whatsoever.
I just
wait, hold on. Hello? Yeah, Governor, the governor of Minnesota is on the line. He wants to speak with you.
Mr. Walls.
He will not take this
Get on my line.
I just have a little bit of have we been here before? Itis.
Oh, shots fired from behind the line.
It's not a shot.
Listen,
USF
I get it.
Tasted a little. We saw this a couple of years back with Houston. We saw this building with Houston. And
this is true.
And they came back that year and were won 4 hurdles on the steeplechase away from winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. And we've talked about how hard it is to have everybody clicking.
Yeah.
Everybody. That's the part that Auburn has been doing it every year. And it's not a lot of people, but the people they got are showing up. So we'll see.
Gonna be interesting.
Very interesting.
Which brings us to the dark end, moving us to the women's 4x1.
Boy. I for real think we're gonna know a great deal of what's gonna happen in the men's meet by the time the men's long jump is over.
Oh, for certain. Men's long jump is one of those very quickly turning events.
Yes.
I mean, men's long jump is almost a firewall for USC.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if the real Johnny Bracken shows up and opens up at like 8:30.
Correct.
Yeah. So anyway, now we get to the true and utter carnage.
All right. 4x1.
Whose idea was it for us to pick the women's meet?
Title IX.
Oh, this isn't about women or men. This is just about difficulty of picking amongst all of this greatness.
Oh, but for the record, before we jump into the women's meet, I want to give Darkman a little note. Mr. Brackens is not qualified for the men's long jump.
Yep.
Indeed. You can't yell about the club if you can't get in.
So, women's 4x1, sir.
Is it on me?
Yeah, it's on you.
Boy, stop. Okay. Well, uh, I have absolutely no choice. Uh, both my heart, my eyes, and my brain say I must pick the Frogs to win.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I said it with all of my chest.
I don't think anybody's gonna be mad at that pick.
Um, the question is after that, who do I believe in? Not many people, to be honest. I'm gonna say South Carolina for second. Oh, and I'll pick the Trojans for third.
Yep. Then it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
I also have TCU winning and South Carolina coming in second. And then I think I have LSU.
Damn it. I was gonna change my pick to that.
You know, in looking at these results, I didn't realize that Florida State ran a 42.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, yes, they did. Yes,
Yeah,
they
like I never even, maybe I heard it, but it never registered. I didn't realize that.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 42s on the board.
Mhm.
And Arkansas had pulled up in the regional.
Yep.
It did. Absolutely.
So there were 9.
So my turn? Whose
Yep.
turn?
Your
Yeah.
turn.
I have TCU, USC, USC.
Which
one and which one?
USC? Because that's what
Not
I
gonna
picked.
do it.
I picked TCU, USC, USC.
The original USC.
I have South Carolina getting second and Southern Cal getting third.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Governor. Me and you picked the same 3 teams in the same order?
Yes.
Woo!
Yes, indeed.
Oh.
Let's go.
Listen.
Who like that pick?
USC Trojan have been the best team all year.
Mm-hmm.
They just have been. They haven't pressed yet. They will be pressed here.
Yep.
And that's what makes this very interesting and hard for me. Because if it comes down to a race where everybody is pressed, then which anchor do I believe in? The anchor that I fear is India Mayberry. But the anchor that I believe in is the Gamecocks, baby.
I mean, for sure. I get that.
Gamecocks. So I'm going South Carolina for the win.
Wow.
And then it gets interesting because as they were last year, no one was thinking about Baylor. And then, oh, look at that. It's
Right.
Baylor.
Right.
Baylor's a problem.
And Baylor's run 42 this year.
Yes.
Absolutely. Baylor's a problem. So I'm gonna go South Carolina 1. I gotta go Trojans 2. And I'm going Baylor 3. Like, Baylor's just really good at this. and you know, if my preaching about this event, if I'm gonna stay true to my preaching about this event, I'm gonna go skills over speed. So I have Baylor in there. They are very skilled.
All right.
At the meet, you just point Clyde out to India. That's
Oh,
the guy that
There's
That's the
already
guy that
commentary.
disrespected you.
No, there's already
I did no
commentary
such
happening.
thing. I said that the scariest anchor on the track is India Mayberry, but there's other humans that have to run first.
Yes, indeed.
You won't listen. You only gonna put that girl in the hole so far.
Mm-hmm.
These people, like, now if you tell me everybody's getting the stick even, well then TCU's gonna walk away. But you know, it's hard.
Mhm.
It is hard.
Very, very.
Yes, there will be
All right.
oh, he disrespected Miss Mayberry. No man.
No,
Well, that's what we're going to tell her.
You say
I
whatever
mean-
you want. You gotta do what you gotta do to get the juices flowing.
well,
Exactly.
I mean, the table's been set. We're done picking, right? Yeah. So, who wasn't at the conference today?
Who? What? Well, I'm sorry. What?
Who wasn't at the conference today?
What conference?
Press?
The press conference.
Oh.
I
Yesterday,
was at
sorry.
the press conference, so I would know who was or was not there.
Yeah. Not India. Not GB. Miss Ford was. So the table's already been set. It's cool. She's ready. She ready.
Very cool.
So, 400-meter hurdles.
Wait, what? What's happening?
400-meter hurdles.
Are you? Oh, okay. That's where you're going. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 400-meter hurdles.
This is men?
Women,
buddy.
The men bent over. Women. Go ahead, shoot.
Yes. Governor. Is the pollen in your brain already?
Oh, Jesus. Chewy, it is your event. It's your pick. So go ahead.
Yes. All right.
Give that man beat.
I have Miss Sutherland from Michigan winning. I've got a Kayla Garrett taking second. And I pulled the Horned Frog Male Bordeaux for third.
Okay. I see that. Governor.
All right, Governor.
Whew. I say it comes down to the line, but I don't see Sutherland losing. She's already, I think she's already in another stratosphere, in my opinion. I think Garrett gets second for sure. And third place, because it kind of drops off after that, after those two.
Michelle runs a 50. Michelle's run 54, but everybody else is 55-ish.
Yeah.
And we know Michelle's season. She's run global meets, but
Yeah.
freshman year.
Yeah, I'll go. Oof. I'm gonna go Michelle Smith third.
Yeah, so this one isn't, I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but this one I'm not really struggling with picking.
Yeah.
Savannah Sutherland is the clear, absolute favorite. It's her show. She's the senior. She's been on every stage. Like, it's Savannah Sutherland's race to lose. I think Akila Garrett is on a very, very well-defined mission for herself.
Yeah.
She cares about this double. I don't know what her fate will be, obviously, in the 100-meter hurdles, but if she wins it, she's going to be on, and she can win it. If she wins it, she'll be on cloud 9 coming into this because that's the double she wants. If she loses it, she'll be extremely pissed off. And every time she struggled in the short hurdles, she's run brilliant in the 400-meter hurdles. So I have Garrett for 2. And only because she's a freshman am I taking Michelle Smith for 3rd. Otherwise, I might have her in 2nd. Between her talent and the coaching that she is receiving, I think she is very, very, very dangerous. And she is most definitely a key to the UGA women trying to win this title. So Smith for 3rd.
I have the same 3 in the same order.
Okay.
Governor, women.
My turn.
It's your turn.
Are you ready?
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready?
Woman shot.
Boy.
Shot.
I think this is a very interesting one.
Shot. Okay. Oh. It's on me. No, it's on you and then me.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there.
No, you don't. Do you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you did there. Well, what you got, sir?
Okay. So this is one, in my opinion, where you kind of have to go behind the curtain to really get an understanding of what's going on. I will never bet against Ole Miss in the NCAA meet. Ever. So I'm gonna go Odeluga for the win. I'm gonna go Lesnar for 2nd, and I'm gonna go Ndubuisi from Texas for 3rd.
Like I said, I saw what you did there.
I'm certain that everything the governor just said is correct. I definitely agree with the Ole Miss take, but I'm a Mountain West guy, and I got to roll with my Mountain West brethren. Maya Lesnar is the overwhelming favorite. Got to be her show. Ole Miss for 2nd, for 3rd, and then because I don't pick Longhorns unless I absolutely have to.
Wow.
I am going to lean in to elevation of the team mission and go with Miss Muriel Ross from Georgia.
Okay.
The 3rd.
Well, I think Miss Lesnar is going to come off the top rope.
Okay.
With the flying elbow.
Boom.
For the W. At this point in time, if you bet against John Smith, you're just crazy. So Odeluga for the 2nd. So, and this goes against so many things in my brain. I mean, in my heart, but in my brain says Abria Smith from Illinois gets 3rd.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
Went chalk. Went chalk.
Wow. Wow.
That's not quite chalk, is it? Oh, well, they're within centimeters. Yeah.
So I have Lesnar, Otaluga, and Nadibusi. So moving on. Clyde,
Yes, ma'am.
your event.
My event. Let's see. Let's see. Which of these two do I really want to get into? Which of these two are going to be hard? I'm going women's 100.
Okay.
I'm going women's 100.
All righty.
I think this is arguably the most balanced field we've seen in years. I don't know why I did this to myself because it just makes this whole thing a lot harder. Yeah. Wow. I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, that's okay.
I've done this. I think this is the event where Miss Mayberry asserts some order. And, the last time we saw a freshman do that, that was obviously the infamous Sha'Carri Richardson NCAA record. I don't know if India can do that, but I think she finds a way to get this done. So I'm gonna say India Mayberry for the win, even though there's like 10 people that could win this.
Seriously.
And then I'm gonna go a little left after that, and I'm gonna say Victoria Cameron
Wow.
for a second,
Wow.
and DeFrand, USC, third.
All right.
Eric, man.
I believe that a great deal of people run very well for money. I don't think that is going to be India's issue. I think India is going to win because I think India wants to win if she was racing 7 Avengers and an alien. After that, I think the most motivated human being in this group of people will absolutely be Jamisha Ford.
Yes.
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 I'm going to pick Jamisha Ford for second. I don't know if it's real beef between the two of them, but it sure is painted that way. But third place is out of pocket. In the if not now, when? I'm gonna pick Anthea Charlton to actually show up in the 100 meters for once.
Oh, okay. That's outside the box as well. I like it though. I like it.
I have India winning. I've got Tima God Bless taking second, and Anthea taking third.
And the crazy part is that all of that could happen.
And
like this field is crazy.
And because it happened, I'm just gonna say it: the utter disrespect of Bertrand from Ohio State.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
But
because that's 12 picks that just happened, and none of them had her on the podium.
Nope.
So which heat do you think is crazier, the second or the third? Because this is nuts.
The third heat is most definitely more disrespectful.
Yes.
Because, listen, Kayla Jackson has run win legal sub 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kayla Jackson's team is in the mix for the women's title.
Right.
Like, she has one job here, and Carol will have her ready to do said job. Jamisha's in there.
Yep.
The Jazz is in there. Like that. Listen, you only get top 2 to qualify.
Yes.
It's going to be 2 big
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
one of them is going to be on the outside. That heat is worse. And that's honestly, that's kind of why I went with the Victoria Cameron thing, because I think she can win that heat. And she's been building confidence and building confidence and building confidence. If she can win that heat and go in there as a big Q, man.
See, but that's what's crazy about that second heat, right? I mean, no disrespect to anybody in there, because Tina, God bless, has at least, we'll say, stood on podiums, but nobody in that heat has ever won anything.
Right.
Mm.
No, for certain.
That
Yeah.
entire heat of people
Wait.
is fast.
Yaya's won something.
Who?
No, not at the NCAA level. Trust me, I was never going to dish
Oh,
Yaya.
yeah. No.
That's
Okay.
one of my
You're right.
favorite children on
Hold
this
on,
planet.
what did she win?
She won Big
Big
12
12s last year.
200.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
But seriously, I think that's the only title in the group, right? I mean, did Leah Bertrand win conference this year?
no.
Okay,
USC,
so
USC stepped all over the Big Ten.
right, so that's kind of the whole point, right? Is that that's a whole heat of people who run really fast, but we're not sure that any of them can beat anybody. Now,
Yeah.
I will say this: Jasmine Montgomery running back on the Oregon track is going to be an interesting thing to watch.
Oh no, she on revenge tour for certain.
Revenge tour for sure.
For certain. No, yeah, there's a lot of storylines in the women's 100. That's why I picked it. I think it's one of the more interesting storyline / team events. Right? Like if the USC women are gonna have a chance at the national title, the 100-meter group comes through.
Yeah.
It can't just be one girl in the final, right? They got to put bodies, they got to stack bodies here.
So I've got Mayberry, Ford, and God bless.
Yeah. For so many reasons, that smells right.
all right.
That's why I said, oof.
All right, sir. You're the last of the women events. How petty are you gonna go? How messy are you gonna make it? He's not even thinking about the messiest thing he could do.
There's a lot of messy stuff in here. There's a lot of messy stuff in here. I'm gonna go brutal. Women's 8.
Boy.
Why?
Why?
He didn't do it to us, though.
Why?
He didn't do it to us, Governor.
He didn't. Okay. Yes, he didn't.
What did y'all want me to do?
No. I'm not saying I wanted it.
Yeah.
I knew it was on the table.
Yes.
But you
What,
didn't.
the HEP?
No.
No.
It's triple.
Oh,
Obviously.
yeah. No, I can't do that. It's just too much. It's too much love. Nah, we ain't doing it.
All right, so the 8, you just felt like being an ass on that.
Yep, I did because this is a ridiculous field of people.
It is.
I did this to myself. Okay. I don't know why I have such a problem picking Michaela Rose to win something. I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to get over that. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna pick Michaela Rose. Yeah, we're gonna pick Michaela Rose for the win. I'm gonna pick Michaela Page from North Carolina for second, and Megan Hunter from BYU for third. Which is crazy because Willis is a problem.
You picked
What'd you say?
AJ.
I did, but I picked the indoor NCAA champ, and I picked with Diljit.
I understand.
That's what I just said.
All
The
right.
first thing I said was Willis is the problem.
So I have Michaela Rose winning. I've got Megan Hunter taking second and Victoria Bosong third.
Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
Those rebels at Harvard, huh?
She's been running well, so she's got momentum on her side.
So, you know, I can't separate Michaela Rose and Rosalind Willis. How many times have these ladies lined up? It seems like they've lined up at least 10 times already. Like, it's just, and the scene is set. I mean, I don't think it matters what their times are coming in. They lock horns. I mean, it's, so I'm gonna say Rose finally wins one. She's never won one ever.
Oh, I don't think so.
So I got her winning. I've got Willis getting second, and I have Megan Hunter third.
Man,
I
disrespect.
listen. I'm a huge fan of Michaela Rose. I'm rooting for Michaela Rose.
I already know what you're gonna say, and I can't even argue with you.
I've seen this movie too many
I was
times.
just gonna
Yes.
say I can't even argue with you.
What did Denzel say? I'm leaving here with something. I'm not picking against JJ and then sitting in the stands and be like, why did I pick against JJ? Like I'm not doing it. I'm picking Michaela. I'm picking Rosalind for the win. I'm picking Megan Hunter to stalk all prey and just get through when the ultimate, passing by happens. And I got Rose for third.
Okay.
And I want Rose to win.
Another one with the disrespect. I like it. This is good stuff. The eights are crazy because
the eights are wild.
But the eights are crazy because it is where finally rubber meets the road, right? You have the racers and the time trialers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the final is when it all crashes. Because if you look at these times on here, some of those people raced to that, and some of those people time trialed to that.
Correct. And the 8 is one of the primary events of why I will be submitting the proposal to get rid of these baby Qs. Just line up and race, people. Because I don't want to see this tag messing up my final. I just want to see top three, and let's go. Right? But anyway.
All right.
So now we're on to oh, that's right. 4x4.
4x Fizzo. 4x4.
4x4.
Who picking?
Chewy picking.
Am I?
Yeah. Pick the 8.
I've got Arkansas, South Carolina, Georgia.
Okay.
Governor. Wait,
This
I said Arkansas, South Carolina, Georgia, right? That's what I said out loud.
you did.
Okay, because that's what I typed, but I was like, I didn't
Those
know.
three could absolutely be running for the ring against each
Mhm.
other in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every now and then I'm like, so you're gonna run 2 4x4s, not one. So you're actually going, okay, all right. So I've got Arkansas winning for sure. Yeah, I mean, I can't. So I've got Arkansas winning. I have Georgia second, South Carolina third.
So Arkansas is the clear favorite.
Yes.
They've been the best team program in the space for a while.
Yes.
And they have enough bodies where they don't have to run the 4
Right.
in the prelims. All huge advantages. But this ain't last year. And it ain't that group.
This is not 317 Arkansas.
Yeah, no, this ain't that. And
What a crime.
right. Right. No, I'm just like last year that this was a joke of a race, right? Like I think this is actually a really competitive race this year. And I'm going Gamecocks for the win.
Ooh.
Gamecocks for the win. Arkansas 2, Georgia 3.
I'm just mad you picked before me. My only issue, I think that's what I'm going to pick, but my only issue is Tim going to continue to run Jamisha second?
She's run third.
But she hasn't run anchor. And for me, that's sort of the problem.
Well,
I don't know.
Will the ring be on the line at the moment or not? You know what I mean? Like we don't know.
At the end of the day, I'm compelled to do what you did. South Carolina, Arkansas, Georgia.
And on to the podium 4. With the governor starting.
Man.
What? Stop. Stop playing.
Oh.
All right. I've got women's podium. I've got Georgia, A&M. I will never bet against Oregon on their home track. And USC 4th.
You know what? I'm not mad at that pick. I really want to know if the Gators can find a way to get 4th. And I know they have enough bullets to do it. Man. You know what? Ooh-wee. I'm going Florida 4. USC 3. Gamecocks 2. And in a meet where I don't actually think it'll be that close, I got the Georgia women winning easily before the 4x4 steps on the track.
Who was your 2 and 3? Sorry.
My 2 are the Gamecocks. My 3 are the other USC.
Got it. Okay.
And Florida for 4th.
I got Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. The question is SC going to fall all the way off? And can Arkansas score that many points with that few people? I'm not believing that Chris Johnson is leaving there without a trophy. Arkansas for 4th.
That may be the biggest upset you've picked. Just on projections, there are projections that don't have Arkansas in the top 10.
Mhm.
I know.
So I've got Georgia winning, A&M second, USC third, South Carolina fourth.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
I'm actually mad though, because who picked Oregon?
No,
I
Were
did.
you, Governor?
Governor.
Yeah, he did.
he got him on.
I
He
think
got him in.
I think that's a smart pick. I their home track is worth like 10 points as a national
Hey
game
man, we've seen it far too many times.
for 30 years.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
30 years.
All right. Well, I have them in. I'm going to start keeping tabs tomorrow. So
What's the next topic?
when I'm going to post the show and everybody's going to be surprised. Because what I'm going to do is people aren't going to realize this till we get to the end that I'm posting this. Well, I guess they'll know because I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it right after we get off.
There you go.
Mm.
No, set it up.
But we do have one more topic though.
What's the topic?
Diamond League / GST.
Got it. Yes. Sorry, I forgot. Oh,
Go ahead, EP.
What I feel is interesting about this topic is people were in general complaining that the Diamond League have lost some of their luster because there's 14 of them and you can never get a large enough configuration of the best people in our sport in the meet at the same time so that the whole meet is fire, except for in Zurich. And so like you're watching these meets and you're not sure, like one event's really hot and another event's kind of trash. And then everybody was super excited for what Grand Slam was going to be, and Michael was going to save track. I don't know if y'all remember that. Does anybody? There's an Instagram account called freezing cold takes. Oh, Michael, you and your savior comments. But anyway, and so there was a whole lot of excitement going into that, right? So it was kind of like Diamond League on the downside and Grand Slam track on the upside. And I'm interested now that we're 3/4 of the way through Grand Slam track and about a quarter of the way through the Diamond League. Like this is as close as we're gonna get. It's like, what do we have by ways of competition? And I would say Grand Slam track talked a lot, opened up better, I think, in on the track than some people thought they would. Way worse, we'll say, at the box office than most thought they would. But all that being said, I think Diamond League just basically said, "Hold my beer," and we're getting crazy marks again. And at the end of the day, in particular, my personal feel is that the Diamond League's a better product, and they have a chokehold on the calendar. So it's always going to get better. If we're going to end in September, it's always going to get better.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna go because I gotta get to bed. But two things. Number one, Grand Slam is proving that increased money awards will bring star power. And on top of that, you are now adding another layer by the off event. And for those that truly love athleticism, truly love, you know, new wrinkles, that sort of thing, Grand Slam track is now, in some cases, showcasing other talents that these athletes have. I mean,
Yeah.
going from the hurdles to the flat, you know, running the 2 and the 4, running, you know, and I will give kudos to that, you know, the thoughtfulness of combining short hurdles and it's interesting. The latest question has been, why not long hurdles, short hurdles? Which, again, that is something that's a staple in the NCAA, right? That's what we look for as coaches, you know, in terms of very valuable human beings to a points race.
But very few bodies lining up for that shit.
Exactly.
Well, not just that. Let's just be honest. Sid is in the field, so
yeah,
that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody trying to race her and get beat twice.
But it's not that those 4 hurdlers didn't run the short hurdles in college, right?
Right.
It's not that they, it's just that they don't now. Like, it's not a thing. I also will give Grand Slam credit for keeping the audience up to date on points. The one thing that the Diamond League has yet to do, and it has everything, has everything to do with the length of the season and the fact that they do not talk about it. They do not talk about a points race.
Though there is Though there is one.
Yes.
Right.
And it's a very viable points race. It's something that, you know, how do we get to the Diamond League final, right? How do we get to that final meet where there is money on the table that you can talk about, you know? And that's, to me, I think Grand Slam has beaten Diamond League to the punch, to where people are now invested on the day to find out, and the combinations, you know, where someone doesn't even have to win, but they're sitting there waiting for the points to be tabulated, and it's adding another level of excitement, you know, and so so I will say that right now there are things that the Diamond League can learn from Grand Slam in terms of how to keep the audience involved. I mean, a traditional track meet, and the one thing that the Diamond League holds dear and keeps sacred is the normal ebb and flow of a track meet. The consistent, you know, and to keep things moving for 3 hours. But there's a human element. There is there is a points race. There are more things that you can talk about. So
Grand Slam definitely has the best commentators.
Yes, that is true.
I don't think so.
Hmm?
I don't think so. I'm gonna push back on that one.
So you know, but yeah, I mean, I will always enjoy a good track meet. Always. Like I will always enjoy an organized track meet. I can, I already know what the schedule is verbatim. You pretty much know from start to finish what the menu is going to be. And, Grand Slam has brought some excitement to it because they've changed things up. You can't keep the field events out. Like it's
crazy.
There's another layer of excitement there that the general audience is missing. So give me a regular track meet still. Just add a little bit more of the points race up. Keep the fans up to date on the business side of things.
So if the question we're being posed at this moment is Diamond League versus GST, I think it's an interesting fight. I think both sides score their points, pun intended, on each other's model. I'm not going to do the easy thing and say that I prefer the Diamond League because they have all the events. I'm gonna allow, for the sake of my commentary here, to ignore the field events because that's the premise of GST anyway. I like new, fresh ideas. I appreciate what the GST is